Hi guys, I have a custom journal I want to share with you. This is the first masculine custom journal that I've been asked to do. This is for one of my friends. She is giving it as an anniversary gift to her boyfriend, and it is vintage airplane themed. So on the front I have this plaid wallpaper, so it has a really nice texture, and then this is like a faux leather wallpaper that I layered up on some scrapbook paper, and then this is from a vintage airplane book, and there is a little pocket up here with this tag with the month of August, and that's the month of their anniversary. So I thought, you know, maybe if she wanted to circle a date or write him a note or something like that before she gives it as a gift, she could do that. So that just tucks right on the front, and let's get into it. So I have this vintage looking ledger paper on the inside, coffee dyed paper throughout, and lots of vintage like airplane ephemera maps, stuff like that. So I have a map here from Calico Collage from the Traveling Through kit, and then I printed this online, and it is a vintage image from a newspaper from I think the 40s or something like that. And as far as the copyright goes, because this is from the 40s, I checked and there was no copyright on this. I think it's because it is a newspaper, but I checked specifically for that image. So if you're online, like the New York, I think I was using the New York Public Library scanned images, and they said there were no rights reserved on this and you could use it however you wanted to. So I thought that was amazing. Here is a vintage like dictionary page, and I underlined some different words here: airman and airplane and airport and airload and airline. And then on this side there's a little pocket and some little tags. And here's a pocket I made here in this graph paper index card. Is from Junk That Treasures. And then here's Charles Lindbergh in the Spirit of St. Louis, and a little piece of ephemera in there. This is a vintage book page from a 1950s children's encyclopedia. And then here's a little pocket with a tag that says travel. And then the ephemera in here, this is a printed image. This is Chicago from the Air from 1920. And then this is the Christmas Aeroplane Company, and it is a receipt for an airplane flight from 1912. So I thought that was kind of cute. It's a masculine journal. It was interesting. Okay, so this is a book page from a book on flight, and here I put on Orville and Wilbur Wright, since you can't talk about flight without them. I know recently there's come to light the fact that they may not have actually been the first to have flight, but you know, it's kind of like the whole Pluto thing with the planets, and I'm getting sidetracked here, but yeah, I was always taught Pluto was a planet. Now it's not, and how could I do a junk journal on planets without putting Pluto in there? It just doesn't seem right. So, you know, I just kind of had to add them in there. Long-winded, whatever. Anyway, so here's a tag I made, and I added an eyelet and some stitching around it. And then on here, I also added an eyelet and one of these garment pins, and this is a charm, and it is a little vintage-looking postcard. It says postcard, and I love you. And since it's from, you know, his girlfriend, and it's vintage and kind of goes with the whole postal and airline theme, I added that in there. This paper is from a 1914 workbook that I found at a Habitat for Humanity for 20 cents. This is how to find the volume of a cylinder. So I thought that was really cool. And then I used some Tim Holtz quotes. The impossible is often the untried, which I thought was perfect for flight, you know, the invention of the airplane. And sometimes you have to take chances. And then here's from a vintage atlas, major cities of the United States. And here's a little airline ticket from Calico Collage, and some scrapbook paper, and it is a map. And then this is a little teeny airplane die cut paper clip. The center of the notebook, I used some vintage photo distress oxide to really age it up. And then here's a little journaling spot here, and this is from Calico Collage. I believe she said he is a writer. He writes like poems and short stories and stuff like that. So here's a compass. I wanted to make sure there was a lot of room for him to write in here. There's a postcard stamp. This is Possibility. Here's the other side of this 1914 workbook. And then a vintage page from 1950s World War II fighter planes and World War II bombers. So I just added that whole page in here because I didn't want to cut it up. It was too interesting. And this is a vintage coin roll from Junk That Treasures. I thought it just kind of fit in here, the color and the theme. Here's a little postcard from Calico Collage and a world stamp. Another airline ticket from Calico Collage. And here's a little wallpaper pocket collage I made and a little Trivial Pursuit game card that I slipped in there. Here's some blueprints for an airplane. And a little file folder journal card that I made here. If I can get it off of this clip. Loosen that clip up. There we go. A little black with the airplane stitched on, and then I backed it with this book page so that he can actually journal on that, or write, or whatever he does. And then in the back, this is a scrapbook paper that had like these blueprints, and there's two pretty tight pockets here, so he could slip something small in there he didn't want flying out or, you know, falling out of the journal. So I hope, Kennedy, that this is what you were looking for your boyfriend. I had so much fun making it. Thank you for this awesome theme you came up with. And I just really loved putting it together for you. So I hope that you enjoy that.